The highest point on Interstate 80 in California is right here at this historic summit at the top of the Sierra Nevada. It's a name that most of us know, and we immediately associate it with the tragic story from a century and 3/4 ago when a group of early California immigrants got stuck in the snow nearby. The survivors were forced to make unimaginable choices just to make it through the winter. Welcome to This Old Road. I'm standing here at the top of Donner Pass, elevation 7135, legendary and historic pass over the Sierra between Sacramento and Reno.
Historic Donner Summit and Old Route 40.
Theodore Judah engineered a path over this summit for the Transcontinental Railroad in 1866. When others said that it couldn't be done, Judah found a path for the Central Pacific eastward from Sacramento. Today, Judah's line is still here and mostly used by Union Pacific Freights and Amtrak's California Zephyr.
Here goes the California Zephyr. In the early 20th century, road builders were able to carve an automobile trail here, and that primitive road would become one of the two branches where the Lincoln Highway crossed the Sierra. I'm going to head down there in a couple minutes and see if I can find any of those remnants.
This crossing is legendary for its severe winter weather and the difficulty of the ascent on its eastern face. But the real bonanza for Donner Summit came in 1926, when this incredibly picturesque bridge was constructed as part of a new improved road which provided a better, safer ascent up the dangerous eastern face of the pass. This is the Rainbow Bridge, as beautiful as it is functional.
The stamp at the top of the arch there says 1925.
The bridge was designed by Harlan Miller, who was the state bridge engineer in the 1920s, and who was the driving force behind so many of California's famous arched bridges from that era. The bridge deck has two 12-foot lanes with a span of 241 feet. But the real engineering feat was that this bridge is neither flat nor straight. Indeed, this arched bridge incorporated a curve and an incline in order to complete the span, something that was totally new to California road building. This interpretive wayside was added in the Vista pullout at the eastern end of the bridge in the late 1990s, part of a rehabilitation project for this iconic bridge.
Here's a look at the scenic wayside that they built in the late 1990s, along with this walkway to get you right to the edge of the bridge. I love how they're taking care of this old road. So this is not the bridge plaque, it's a photo of the plaque. I wonder if somebody stole it or if they just put it away so that nobody would steal it.
Although this bridge is often regarded as Donner Pass, this bridge is actually about 200 feet lower than the summit. The actual pass itself is located about a half mile to the west of the bridge at 7,135 feet above sea level. From here to the east, the road snakes down quickly to Donner Lake, 1,000 feet of elevation change in just 9 miles of road. Aside from the bridge's completion, something else happened to Donner Pass in 1926, and this was even more momentous. It was in November of 1926 that the U.S. highway system was first created, and this road became a part of US40, arguably the most important of all the transcontinental routes. For 40 years, this road was the main road. US40 was a coast-to-coast road right across the middle of the country, and it crossed the Sierra Nevada right here. But after World War II, interstate traffic ballooned, and Donner Pass Road became a traffic bottleneck on this important route. Such a twisty road with steep inclines was a tough drive even in the best of conditions, but Donner Pass has a well-deserved reputation as a place with inhospitable winter weather. Remember the Donner Party? Needless to say, this section of road was in need of another upgrade. Heavy traffic, severe winters, and the upcoming 1960 Winter Olympics spurred the state of California to begin upgrading US40. Throughout the late 1950s and early 1960s, US40 was upgraded to freeway status section by section from Sacramento all the way to the state line. One of the earliest maps I've found is this map that was produced by a casino in Reno, which showed the state of the road and the expected upgrade completion dates. I also found this map from the California Division of Highways, which contains its estimates of the roadway completion dates. The replacement for Donner Pass itself wasn't completed until November of 1964. And incidentally, 1964 was the same year that US40 was retired in California, when it officially gave way to Interstate 80 and disappeared from the map. You should check out my video on California's Great Renumbering from 1964 to see more about how US40 was eliminated during that process. And I'll put a link to that video in the description below. This new freeway was built about 2 miles to the north, which means that it doesn't cross Donner Pass proper. Instead, it was constructed through a gap named Buer Saddle. The new freeway is more than 100 feet higher than the true Donner Pass and located about 2 miles north of the actual pass. Nevertheless, the state still calls this passage Donner Summit, and in what seems to be a statement for how much better engineering has improved, they built highway rest areas with large parking areas and running water right at the top of the summit. Only a couple weeks before the freeway bypass over the top of the pass was opened in November of 1964, the urgency of its necessity was given an exclamation point when a truck failed to negotiate one of the curves on the old road right near the summit, resulting in a traffic nightmare.
There's old US40 sneaking down with Donner Lake in the distance. On the left side, you can see Interstate 80 climbing up. Beautifully clear, gorgeous day. Very impressive. That's amazing. Looks like they had a piece of granite fall and they just painted warning chevrons on it, keep people from hitting it. Somewhere down there are sections of the old Lincoln Highway. I think I'm going to try to go down and see if I can find one. So looking at the satellite view on the map, this certainly looks like the Lincoln Highway from above. When I come down on it, it looks more like a hiking trail. Let's see if I can get down here. But that could be true because the Lincoln Highway wasn't paved here. Well, that certainly answers the question. Okay, so this is the road that predated the 1926 road that used the new bridge there. One of the earlier roads up over Donner Summit. So these were the markings that they used to show you the route of the Lincoln Highway as you navigated that early road in the 1915 or so. Little symbols with an L and an arrow pointing the way. Up above there you can see the bridge looming. There's a man standing up on the edge of it too. What a torturous climb up the mountain this must have been.
The freeway is a great drive, beautiful and easy, as long as it's not a holiday weekend. But the old road is still there and drivable and well maintained by Placer County and Nevada County. Even better, having the freeway nearby means that the old Donner Summit Road carries only local traffic, so you can take it nice and slow while you soak in the amazing scenery, and there are plenty of places to pull over.
So this bridge is a little bit further down Donner Summit Road towards Sacramento, perhaps 5 miles from the Norden exit, but Interstate 80 is right there. You can see the traffic and probably hear it as well. There are lots of these old bridges here, probably built in the 1930s. There's no bridge stamp on them. Somewhat deteriorating with these arch parapets. There probably at one time was a plaque here. It's gorgeous in the fall colors. Old US40. Definitely worth a look. Here's another one, very similar. This is at Rainbow, 3 or 4 more miles downstream, over the Yuba River. The Hampshire Rocks area. And this bridge here is in the area called Big Bend. Most of these are exits right off of Interstate 80 as well. Hampshire Rocks, Kingvale, Big Bend. All within 7 or 8 miles of Donner Summit. You know, one nice thing about having the freeway here, even though I love these old roads, is it takes all the traffic off of the old road. So you can really stop and just enjoy the scenery and the peace of the road. It's late October and the colors are just gorgeous right now. Here you can see the juxtaposition of the old road and the freeway. Freeway built in the late 1950s and early 1960s, and this is old US40. I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this look at Old Donner Summit. If you did, please give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will share it with other people who like this kind of content. And if you like the content on my channel, I'd be honored to have you as a subscriber. Thank you for watching.